caffeine. That's from the energy here at Electric Haze here in Worcester as Cappuccino Jones about to make his open debut here tonight. WWE ID official match. Paul Crockett joining you here in the broadcast booth. Thank you for joining us as Bryce Donovan, a longtime stalwart here at Wrestling Open, goes one-on-one with Cappuccino Jones. And Bryce Donovan has been very clear and very adamant about the fact that WWE ID is his ID program. And I'm sure he's just as adamant that Evolve is his Evolve. But one thing he has always been very clear about since his attitude change here at Wrestling Open in 2024 is that this is his Wrestling Open. He has had his eye on Wrestling Open champion Fancy Ryan Clancy, but he's had some roadblocks along the way. And this match here with Cold Brew Cappuccino Jones is just one of those roadblocks. But for Cappuccino Jones, this isn't a roadblock. This is a very clear stop on his path to show that he belongs at the top of the ID program, perhaps to become the first ID champion as he goes off the ropes and down goes Bryce. As he wants to show the world that perhaps he could be the Evolve champion as well. Bryce back in on the receiving end of that drop kick, and Cold Brew knows what Bryce is all about. I talked to Cappuccino Jones and he said he's been watching Open every week. He knows what Bryce Donovan brings to the table, but it's one thing to watch, hooks the leg, but it's another thing to do. It's another thing to execute once that bell rings and you're in there. So you can know what Bryce Donovan is all about, but until you feel that impact, totally different story. And that's another thing that he loves to do, Bryce Donovan. That is intimidate and bully the referees. Puts his hands behind his back and say, I'm not gonna hit you, I'm not gonna touch you, but it could definitely sway the referee in his favor subconsciously. As Bryce Donovan, this attitude change that I alluded to in 2024. He was a fun-loving guy teaming with the Shook Crew, with Bobby Orlando for so long, but then he just felt like he needed to make a change because he and Bobby couldn't get to the top of the mountain here at Open. And man, things have changed in a huge way for Bryce. He has scored career victories here at Wrestling Open on the biggest stages that we have. And now he wants to bring those victories to stages like Evolve and the WWE ID program and those showcase matches, as he is showing the force that he has here against Cappuccino Jones. Count of two. Yes, thank you for joining us. Use that hashtag. Let us know what you think of all the action. You can catch Bryce Donovan, Cappuccino Jones, and all of the ID stars every Wednesday night on Tubi. But right here in Worcester, you can see the action up close and personal, as Bryce, as you can hear, has not made any friends in the city of Worcester. Cappuccino Jones, he wants to show that he didn't come all this way for nothing. He wants to show that even though Bryce has laid down the statement that he is #1 in ID and in Evolve, that he's gonna have to work for it. Because that is what Cappuccino Jones has done his entire life. He has worked hard to get where he is, and he is going to continue to work hard. But man, I will not take anything away from Bryce Donovan. He has worked really hard too. And he has worked for those chances week in and week out at Wrestling Open. Try for that choke bomb. No! There is the reversal. It's Cappuccino Jones able to get back into this fight here.
5 minutes remain.
Cappuccino continuing to fight here, looking to find that extra level, perhaps add a couple of shots of espresso to get back into this. Ducks the clothesline. Oh no, he slipped. He slipped, and folks, that is what happens when you get on a roll, and that momentum, just like a couple of shots of espresso, the adrenaline was too much for Cappuccino Jones. It was too much for him. He got too rambunctious, and he slipped right on that rope, and Bryce Donovan made him pay for it. Bryce continuing to jaw jack. He's going to try to put him away here. Oh no, there's a reversal. He got it the second time off the springboard back elbow. And he got a second bite at the apple. He did not miss. Picks him up. He sits out with it. Is this it? Could this be the win? No. Unable to secure that victory is Cappuccino Jones. Bryce slowly back to his feet. Off the ropes. Up and over. Shoulders down. No. Again. Oh no, I thought he was able to get that one, but no, Cappuccino with that stimulating right hand. Down goes Bryce Donovan, and now Cappuccino, I think he wants to go all the way up. Here we go. Going up to, oh no, Bryce baited him in on that one. Bryce was ready and waiting. Here we go. Oh, he missed. He missed. And man, that was a brutal crash landing right there. It's the big choke slam. I don't think he's done yet. Black hole slam. And Bryce Donovan picks up the win in this ID match.
The time of the fall, 7 minutes, 50 seconds. Here is your winner, Bryce Donovan.
Bryce Donovan gets the win here tonight.